And I've got my man over for reporting from Las Vegas, John Ryan. How are you today, Ryan? Or John Ryan?
Good. Yeah, it's not been too bad today.
So earlier this week, we had the annual category changes for the Hyatt World of Hyatt program, where once a year, it's not all the hotel programs do this anymore. In fact, most of them don't, because it's now mostly based on revenue based and or partially revenue based. And they can change at any time. There's no those old gentlemen's agreements that we used to have with the various programs used to have people within categories, and now that's not the case anymore. Most of the places, but Hyatt is still keeping it real with this stuff.
They are, yeah. I mean, we've seen the category changes this past week, but they're pretty minor in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, for those who didn't watch that video of the changes, John and I going through the list and getting into this all of the details. We found it very undramatic what just happened. But there were a lot of people who were asking, where should I use my category 1 through 4 certs? And the category 1 through 4 cert can be earned through the Hyatt credit card and also through some milestones awards for those who are staying a lot at Hyatts. And you can run up a few of those per year. I feel like I always have those, and I see them as a freebie. And the freebie is that you don't have to use your points; you use the cert, and it can be used at any Hyatt up until Category 4. So today we're going to dive into seeing which one of these hotels which one of the Category 4 hotels would be the best ones for some hidden gems and some good advice of where you should use that category 1 through 4. So John has picked 30 hotels and I have picked 30. And since I'm the oldest, I'm going to go first. So I'm going to pull up a list and go through these various properties on the screen.
I will say also too, like if you have one of these certificates, they do expire in 6 months if you're getting it with the 30 night award. So just use it. Like it's even if it's not the best, use it. It's better than no use. So
Exactly. Okay, so let's get rolling. The first one on my list is the Kennedy 89. And the Kennedy 89 is a new hotel that's opening this year in Frankfurt. And it is a luxury hotel that's located in a great location in Frankfurt. Luxury, Frankfurt is one of the most underrated cities, I think, in Germany. There's a lot of people who think that that's the most boring city. It's the banking city of Germany. But there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a river goes down. You can go on a riverboat. There's a lot of all of the Oompa music and all of the beers and the hot dogs and all that kind of stuff. Frankfurt is more than the first class terminal. So I would recommend checking it out. It also has a decent Christmas market, even though if it's more of an up and coming Christmas market, it's not the one that's the most popular one there is. But this looks like a good find. It is not open yet, but it's about to open this spring. And taking a gander around all of the rooms that are here, it looks kind of cool and funky. So that's definitely a good use of a category 1 through 4. Next one I have.
One with Brand Explorer. I forgot about that. That's another way you could.
Yeah, that's a Unbound collection. So you probably have that.
Yeah.
Or was it? I closed the window. I'm sorry.
It's Unbound. Yeah.
Right. Then we've got the Hyatt Regency in Zadar, which is a town on the Adriatic Sea. I've been checking out this place. It's open now for booking. It's a new hotel also. Category 1 through 4 is available there. And have you ever been to Croatia, John?
No, I have not. Have you?
I have. I have been to Croatia a few times. I think that Croatia is a lot of people who haven't visited Croatia. It's Zadar is usually people they go to Dubrovnik first, right? That's the most famous city in Croatia. I think that. Croatia, Dubrovnik is kind of a little bit overrated in the sense that there's a lot of it's a little bit of a tourist trap. There is a Sheraton outside of town. There's a Hilton in town, and there is a but there's a lot more to Croatia. It's almost as expensive as Italy, but I this is a brand new hotel just opening, and it's an area that I haven't visited before. I do believe that the touristy areas of Dubrovnik and is worth getting away from. So I would give this a shot. It's definitely an inexpensive, a good place to use. And they say luxurious lifestyle. I don't think it's a category or a five-star hotel, but this is Zadar, as you can see. Kind of an interesting city, and lots of water, lots of things like that. So I would give that a shot. All right, next one is the Grand Hyatt Berlin. And we have a review coming out. It's where I usually stay when I'm in Berlin. Have you been to Berlin, John?
I've not. I'm lacking in Europe in certain areas.
Yeah, so you decided to go to Poland then in a couple of weeks instead of going to Berlin, huh? Or going somewhere else.
I mean, I've been to 12 countries in Europe, but
cool. That's not bad for somebody who's 17, for sure. But Berlin is the capital of Germany. It's a big city and the biggest city in Germany, and I kind of dig it. It's got a lot of culture, a lot of things to do, and the Grand Hyatt is. I got upgraded to a one-bedroom suite, so a grand suite when I was there. They have a club lounge, which kind of is a little bit lacking. I would say it's not the most exciting. They got free drinks in the evening. In the evening, it's definitely worth stopping by. But if you are staying in a suite and if you're a globalist, I would check out the breakfast downstairs because it's just so much better. It's definitely a favorite hotel. It's where my preferred hotel to be, and it can be cheap off season, but it's often $300. So a category 1 through 4 is definitely a good use there. All right, looking at this is also a new hotel, and it's the Hyatt Regency in Rome. And I think it hasn't opened yet. Coming soon, it says. So it has not, but it's on the list, so it is coming this year. And let's see where it is located in Rome so we can kind of figure out where it actually is.
Looks like a nice room.
Yeah, of course, it's brand new. It looks like it's a little bit. No, that's actually not the. Let's look at the map where it is. Wow, so it is literally across the street from Termini Station. That location is so you have the train tracks there though, but at the end of the day, it's so it looks like it's a brand new build. Look at that.
Wow.
It was a parking garage, and now it's a. Now they've obviously torn it down and built a Hyatt there instead. So that's going to be a winner for sure. I don't know how it is to have to be right across the street from the train station, but you can take the Airport Express train in like 20 minutes from the airport straight there and just walk across the street. That's kind of convenient, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a good option for a category 1 through 4. Rome has kind of blown up a little bit in the last few years, and there hasn't been any good Hyatt options there. So this is a good get out of jail free card. All right. Hyatt Centric Murano Venice is still a category 4. I have made a couple of annoyed reviews of this place. I've stayed there a few times. Have you been to Venice?
No Italy at all.
What have you heard about the Hyatt Centric Murano?
I know it's on a different island from the rest of Venice, or the main, I think Gritty Palace is on the main Venice area.
Yeah, so this is on Murano, which is a small island. It's a smaller island that's kind of between the airport and the main island in Venice.
Okay.
And I would venture into saying that the reason why I don't like this hotel is, first of all, if your expectation is to save money and you want to go to Venice on a budget, this is a great place for that. It is inconvenient in regards in where it's located. We're getting it from this hotel and getting into the restaurants and to the main island where all the stuff is happening is challenging. It's not challenging in the sense, it just takes a long time. And if you're going in the evening, the boat don't go so you obviously can't walk because you can swim. It's a long swim though. It's about, I would say, probably you should if you take it across the canal to the north side of the main island in Venice, It's a it's about probably half an hour, depending. And if you take it, there's one stop in front of the hotel, but it's not as frequent as the one that's on the other side of the main stop on Murano. So to get to San Marco, maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes total.
Okay.
So it takes a while. And you got to look at the schedule, you got to get tickets and blah, blah, blah. That's my biggest problem in it. And if you want to eat out, there's actually a restaurant I can recommend that's walking this. The restaurant at the hotel is not good at all. It is, they've got two of them and it's a disaster. So, but around the corner, there's a family and they have a Siamese cat, just like we do have. We have two of them. It's around the corner, like 3-4 minutes walk from the hotel. There's over, so you walk out of the hotel, you make a left, and then you make another left, and you walk by. You will have the canal on your right. First bridge you come to, you walk across the bridge, and there's the place. It's called Trattoria Duomo, Ristorante Duomo. So Duomo as in big church, cathedral, right? Duomo is a cathedral in Italian. Very great family restaurant, very inexpensive for Venice, and good food. So you just have to, it's always a drag. Going an hour and a half to go to dinner, that's a little bit of a commute there. So it's, unless you want to take a taxi, of course, but it's going to run you a couple $100s to go to and from dinner. So, but it is a get out of jail free card. Nothing wrong with the hotel. Just be aware that their upgrade policy is to a globalist go to a bi-level suite only. And the bi-level suite, they got a lot of them, and it sounds very fancy, like, oh, a 2-story suite, right? Yeah, no. It's upstairs. It's a tiny little platform where the bed is. So there's no restroom. So you want to go to the bathroom all of a sudden, and then you got to go downstairs, and you got to go this and that, and all this, and noisy if you're with somebody else. So no, those suites are not really that big. They're the same size as a standard room, but with a little platform with a bed on top. That's what they are. So I tried to get a junior suite to have the same amount of room on one level, and they do. I've tried it a couple of times. They didn't want to do it. So we stayed there. We stayed there last year in February when I was there with my mother-in-law and we were traveling with some other people. We're on a budget, so that's if you want to save money, good. If not, stay somewhere else. Still a category 4 though. Then we have Kotor Bay. The Hyatt Regency Kotor Bay in Montenegro. And you familiar with Montenegro?
I'm really not with Eastern Europe.
Right. So it's in the Balkans. So it's not really Eastern Europe. It's more, it's like to the Croatian border. It's probably, 45 minutes drive from here, maybe a little bit longer. This is also a very, I haven't stayed there myself, but I've heard a lot of positive things about it. The rooms are supposed to be nice. It is pretty new and very inexpensive to be in Montenegro. A lot of Russians there, but since they can't travel so much anymore, the dynamics might have been changed a lot. But when we were there, last time was right before the Russia invaded Ukraine, and so at that point, before there was a travel ban, there were a lot of Russians there. But I don't think that probably has changed now. But it says here that it's a 5-star luxury beach resort. So take it at that. And here we go, Stockholm. We're both going to Stockholm in a couple of weeks. And this hotel is an unbiased collection. It's called Hotel Reisen. It's a small hotel in Old Town, Stockholm. Did you do any reading on Stockholm at all?
I kind of, not as much as I should, but...
Right. So Old Town is on a separate little island. And this is... I would say it's a boutique hotel. As you can see, it's kind of tiny. It's got maybe less than 100 rooms, I would say. Pretty nice, nifty, and cool. We got a nice suite upgrade when we were there. Chapman suite doesn't look like the same. It was a 1-bedroom suite, so it's not here. Actually, it was more like a junior. You come in and you have a seating area, and then around the corner. The problem was that there is absolutely no fans or ventilation, and it was 80 degrees in that room, and we couldn't get it to cool down. And as you could see from the photo here on the top, it's got let's go back and see here. It's got a really busy street in front of it.
Oh.
It's the yellow here. And we were like right here, if you can see my arrow.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Right there we were on that corner. and it was noisy as hell, and it was busy as hell outside in the middle of the night. It was brutal. So off season, great. It's an expensive place, or not expensive, but like $300, I would say, ish, something like that. The dollar is still pretty strong, and that we'll have that. But it's a good alternative. And let's see. And then we've got the Hyatt Place, London Paddington. Hasn't opened yet, but it is obviously a brilliant location for those who want to try and burn their category 1 through 4. It is not going to be like the standard Hyatt Place that you are familiar with. It's opening this year, and you take the Elizabeth line. So if you can, of course, take the Heathrow Express if you want. If you buy the Heathrow Express a month or two in advance or whatever, and if you know when you're going, the Heathrow Express is cheaper, cheap, like 10, 12 pounds maybe, while the Elizabeth line has a constant price. You can go anywhere in London for $12.50. So that it uses the same tracks as the Heathrow Express, meaning that you can get from here to the airport in 15 minutes or 15, 20 minutes, and half an hour with the Elizabeth line. So you save 10 minutes to take the Heathrow Express. So it's very convenient. So Heathrow Express is inexpensive if you book it a long time in advance. But of course, if you might cancel something, you don't get a refund, right? So that's the thing. You have to buy it.
Slight little problem.
Pardon?
One thing with this hotel is that I know the rooms are really small, like 100 square feet or something like insane.
How do you know that?
On Flyer Talk, I saw it a few weeks ago.
Okay. Let's see what they have for cozy rooms.
That's code word for small.
Yeah. And these guys, they're obviously in a suite, and there's only one picture here for now. I think that for people who go to London on a budget and want to use their category 1 through 4, they really don't care where they sleep. I think this location is brilliant. And Paddington Station has access to a lot of the subway lines around London, so including the Circle line and the Jubilee line. So it's definitely, I would say that it's a good place to be located for sure. And it's the only one that kind of has only Hyatt that is in a central location, right?
Yeah.
All right, we've got the Park Hyatt Siem Reap in Cambodia, and I've been there. I was there maybe 2017, 18-ish, something like that. So very, very close to Angkor Wat, and we had a Gary Leff, who writes the review from the wing, a good friend of mine. He recommended a driver and also a guide that we had there we used. So you can, if you're interested in going, write a comment underneath, and I can give you the contact information. It's a brilliant hotel. We were given a pretty decent size suite. It was actually this one right here. So it's 2 rooms. And you have a little courtyard in the middle. So this is the living room where you had like a coffee machine and a little kitchenette and stuff like that, like this. And then the courtyard outside. And I don't think it was the presidential. I think that it was, here we go. The rooftop garden suite. So 1,636 square feet was what I was assigned as a globalist, which I think was kind of cool. So you have a room on one side for the, you have a room on one side for the living room I remember it looking kind of like this. And then on the other side, you have the bedroom. So you have to walk outside to go to the bedroom, which is cool if you are traveling with somebody and the other person is up late at night or up early in the morning. It was kind of convenient like that. And there was like a courtyard in the middle. And they also have some pool suites. There was no cigar. I asked for that. And it was like, no, thank you. Not going to do it. So we didn't get that. But yeah, it's definitely a good gig, and it's a good opportunity to use your category 1 through 4. All right, Park Hyatt Jakarta. That's actually yours, right? Didn't you talk about that?
I recommended it. Yeah, it's a good hotel.
All right. So what's good about it?
So I've personally not stayed there, but I've seen like amazing reviews on YouTube of it. It's just the newest of new decor. It opened about 2 years ago. There's just like the service is phenomenal. You're pretty much guaranteed a suite upgrade. And for a category 4, I think it's a pretty good deal. So
yeah. And it's also, if you survive the traffic you have to go through to get there, it's like the most congested cities in the world. It's absolutely brutal. I've only been there for business, and it did not invite me to come back. All right. Then we have in Pattaya Yomtien Beach, we've got an Andaz there, which popular destination right on the beach. And I've read good things about it. Haven't stayed before. Not a big Thailand fan. And it's also close to Pattaya with all the fun stuff that comes with that.
Lady
But
boys.
it is, pardon me?
Lady boys.
Ladyboys and all sorts of other fun stuff. I think Pattaya is more of overweight guys my age that can't get a girlfriend type of town. Is more what we're talking about here. That's Pattaya. Yoptian is a little bit different, but it's close by, so it kind of flows over there, though. But it's definitely, for those who like Thailand, it's a good deal. They got pools on the beach and some good, attractive rooms as well, so a good use of that. We've got Hyatt Regency Sydney, which we have a review. Jamie stayed there. He stayed there a few times. He, for some reason, I don't understand why, he likes to go to Sydney. And it's a good use of a Category 1 through 4 for sure. I hear that the club there is supposed to be very nice. Or was there any changes to that recently? Did you hear anything about that?
No, I don't think I have.
There's a Regency Club. It is definitely a get out of jail free card. So instead of so the way Jamie usually does it when he goes, he stays a couple of nights at the Park Hyatt Sydney, and then he stays the rest of them here at this place, which is more inexpensive and with good views and stuff. All right, we've got the Grand Hyatt in Melbourne. It's
Melbourne.
A decent property as well. Jamie also has a review from that. It looked kind of, I was kind of digging it. So he got a converted suite upgrade. He was there for a while for a congress. And it's definitely a 5-star hotel in Melbourne. All right, Panama City. You were in Panama City recently, weren't you?
I was. I have a review on the channel about the Novotel.
The Novotel.
Yeah,
Wasn't there
50
also
bucks a
one
night.
about didn't you have 2 hotel reviews from there?
No, I didn't.
I thought it was 2 Accor hotels. No, it doesn't matter. But yeah, you're right. You were there in Panama City. But this hotel, I don't think, was open when you traveled
Nope,
there.
it was not.
Yeah, so they
Very
just
new.
opened. And for those who would like to explore Panama, I think that this is a decent gig. Obviously, it's brand spanking new, like literally just open. As you can see, it has the same furniture as it had in the one that was in Croatia, right? Yeah. So it's obviously they bought it at the Hyatt store. All right. Then we've got, you were talking about, you had one Colombia property on your list, and I, for some reason, got one on my list as well. So the Bogota in Colombia is a fun city. We stayed, the last time I was there, we stayed at the W, I think. Yes, we stayed at the W. A little bit outside of town. This is also, I think, a little bit of a little bit outside of town, I think it is, if I remember correctly. If it kind of looks like it, there's kind of bit of public transportation and stuff there. So let me see if it actually is. How do you? Oh wow, that is a big freaking map. It is. Let me see where it is. Yeah, so it's also outside of town a little bit for sure. So not the best location, but it's a walkable city and the taxis are cheap as hell. So if you're going to Bogota, that might be an option. All right, we were talking about Vienna on the call, that some of the Lindner Hotel, the one's Category 1 is going up. The Andaz is very close to where the Lindner Hotel is walkable from there. It's not as good of a location as the Lindner Hotel, but it's connected kind of right across the street from the central station. It's worth noting that the Airport Express train in Vienna, it goes to not to the central station, but to another station downtown. In more close to downtown, the main station in Vienna is kind of a little bit outside of town, and that's where this Andaz is. And they have really good breakfast, really good. I always got in the suite there. They're so good, and the reception, the cocktail reception, open bar in the evening, or not open bar, but they have like a wine reception and stuff in the evening. And they also have during Christmas, they have like Glühwein and all sorts of cookies and cakes and all that kind of stuff. And they decorate the area wherever. You don't even have to be globalist to attend those at Andaz, so it's free. So nice minibar, always free also, and the rooms are stellar. I got a really nice suite the last time I was there. Also check the rate on that. because it might be cheaper off season to stay there. I've stayed there for like 150 euros also. So if you don't want to use that cert, if the math doesn't math for you, then keep that in mind. All right, Athens. I actually have an active reservation in a suite at this place.
Wow.
We're going there. We're going on a cruise, and we're staying here before the cruise. Rudy also, I think, has I think he has a review on the channel from this place. They have an outside pool and an inside. Look at the rooftop with a view of Acropolis. So it's kind of on that street that's down towards the water. So it's not the central area of Athens. It's kind of up here. So it's like in an industrial. It's not the best area of town, but there is a subway station close by. Rudy digged it, and so I also want to burn a category 1 through 4 at this hotel, and was able to apply a suite night upgrade. So that's pretty cool. And it was like 400 euros per night because this was in June, so it's high season. All right, we've got Hyatt Regency Casablanca. As you can see, it's a pretty central location. It's not that far away from downtown. It's a busy city with lots of. I haven't stayed at this hotel, but I can tell you that it's a busy city with lots of cars. You see the cars in front of it, and 6 different lanes there. It is definitely a busy place. If you're ever going to go to Casablanca, a 5-star place is a good place to stay, and this is an option that would be available to you, say category 1 through 4. All right, we've got KL, the Grand Hyatt in KL, a great location. You can see the Petronas Towers behind there. Actually, it's not a great location. I take that back. It is getting there from the airport takes a lot longer than, for example, the St. Regis and all of those places that are very close to. There's a Hilton there, and there's a couple of other Marriotts also close to there. So you got to take the train, and then you got to get on it's a good hotel, nice club and all that stuff for sure. But it's a hike to get to and from the airport. And believe me, KL is not a city where you hop in a taxi and drive from the airport. You take the train from the airport for sure. All right, let's see here. We've got Hong Kong. So we saw that the TST property is going up to a category 5, which surprised me a little bit. And so that property, the Hyatt Regency, is out. But Victoria Harbour is kind of a nice area. I'm kind of feeling the location of this hotel. And I would say that I haven't stayed here, but it's a newer hotel, and it's right by the harbor. Great location, so why not?
And there's a club lounge for what it's worth. It's one of the only high
It is?
places in the world to have that. Yep.
I had no idea. I didn't even know that they had.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a picture of that. The Cruise Terrace, the Farmhouse Deli, the catering box. Let's see. Concierge, but where did you hear that it was that it was a lounge here?
Check
there
the
it
room
is.
Types. Oh, there.
The Victoria Harbour Lounge offers breathtaking views. Blah 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 blah. Very cool. That's kind of crazy. A little bit off-brand, but okay. Santo Domingo in Dominican Republic. For those who don't want to be on the beach, this is a downtown location in Santo Domingo. I lived there for a while, or outside of town, and I think it's a bustling city with lots of fun. Not for everybody. You have to be a little bit adventurous, and it might come across as sketchy for some, but it's completely harmless. But if you want to go to the DDR and not go out to the beach, I think that this is a good option. All right, we are moving on to Bulgaria, Sofia, which has a Hyatt Regency there. Going to the capital to explore Eastern Europe, then that's an option for sure. We are going to the Hyatt Regency Thessaloniki, which is the second largest city in Greece. And this hotel is actually pretty decent. They're saying that it's a 5-star luxury hotel. That's probably stretching it a little bit, but it's got a nice pools both inside and outside. And it's a popular place to hang out for sure in Thessaloniki. So I could recommend that. Here we go. We moved over to Serbia, of all countries, also Eastern Europe. There is a Hyatt Regency. That definitely is the game in town if you're going there. It's a little bit tired, but definitely a good And it's not 4-star; it's an upscale hotel, so it's not luxury in
Oh,
that sense. But it's an option if you are collecting countries. That's a good place to use your category 1 through 4. And I found a new hotel in Gothenburg, which is called the Hotel G.
so
And
creative.
Gothenburg, pardon?
So creative with the naming.
Yeah, no kidding. The Europeans, they're just being silly, you know. What brand is this, though? Do we know? Doesn't say anywhere.
Weird.
Maybe they forgot to brand it to anything. It's a brand new hotel, and it's right by the train station, looks like. So it is, yeah, it's a good location for sure. This is kind of like the main drag around here, and so I would say that it's a good location. And finally, an option for Gothenburg. It's the second largest city in Sweden on the west coast. All right, for the Hyatt Place, London Heathrow Airport. It can be less than $100, but it can also be a little bit around $100. It's more than 100 now, has been since the pandemic. But if you're staying at the airport, the bus that goes, you don't have to do the that Hoppa
Hotel
bus.
Hoppa, yeah.
You don't have to do the Hoppa bus because this property actually has the red bus stopping right in front of the hotel. So you can take that and save. I think it's $1.50, £2 or something like that that it costs for the red bus. So it's more convenient pretty often, and it's easier to get to get there. I stayed there last year. I had a flight out early in the morning. Actually, I didn't have a flight out early in the morning. I was meeting Melinda and her mom there early in the morning. So they were coming on a flight from the U.S., and I opted to stay there. A pretty pricey restaurant because there's nothing around there. And I was picking up a rent-a-car at Hertz, which is right across the street from where that is. So that's why I stayed out there. So it's for a Hyatt Place. It's above average. Breakfast was just okay, but it was definitely a good place to use a category 1 through 4. If it is expensive, you got to just make sure that you check the price. All right, then we have the Grand Hyatt in Amman. We mentioned that when we talked 2 days ago about the category changes. The Grand Hyatt in Amman I haven't stayed there, but it's definitely a good location in the city and a good option for Hyatt people finally. Instead of the Marriott and the Four Seasons where I have stayed. And then we've got the Hyatt Place Kyoto. People were complaining about how few hotels were available in Japan. The Kyoto property is very, very decent location, close to like the biggest two attractions that are here, the two castles and stuff. Close to the river, so I would say that this is a decent location, and I do think that it's a subway line also very close to there. So I would say that it's a good location, and there is an option available if you don't want to pay the high rates that we're seeing in Japan now because of high demand. We also talked about the Hyatt Place in Frankfurt. Very nice hotel, not your average Hyatt Place, as you can see from the photos. Very nice. I like that place, and it's a good option for if the Sheraton or the Marriott or the two Hiltons, the Hilton Garden Inn or the Hilton inside of the terminal are really expensive. This could be an option for sure. It's pardon?
There's a Rewe, like the German grocery store, like within walking distance of that hotel. So
a Rewe?
Rewe, REWE.
Okay. Good. That's good to know. And my last on my list is the Hyatt Regency Cape Town, which we already talked about. Or you had it on your list. I don't know how it ended up on my list. Did I do it in the same wrong window? But that's all I have on my list. And now we're going to go switch over to your list. Well, the 30 ones that you found. And if you're still with us, congratulations. That's 34 minutes. That's less than, that's with the intro. That's about a minute per hotel we're talking about. So let's try and make sure that we do that as well here. So that would be this window right here. So let's see what John has for his.
All right, so we first off got the Hyatt Regency Mission Bay, located in San Diego. It's one of the few Category 1 to 4s left in the San Diego area. In fact, it's the only one besides the Hyatt House in, I think, Sorrento Mesa, and then the Hyatt Regency in La Jolla, which is kind of just inland in the middle of nowhere. But this is a very family-friendly resort. You've got SeaWorld that's within walking distance, basically, or a short drive away. It's got a nice water slide. It's a bridge over from Mission Beach, which has a nice little boardwalk and roller coaster. And there's like s'mores at night. It's an all-around great family property, and I've gotten a suite upgrade there before. So,
Right. And fun fact, we had an FGU at that hotel.
oh, that's where my dad went to high school. So close.
He went to high school at a Hyatt Regency?
Okay, I messed that up there. High school in the area, so I'm familiar with that area. Yeah, he did not go to high school at a Hyatt. That would be
That would be nice, though. That would be cool.
yeah.
All right.
So next
so
up,
hopefully he was globalist when he went to high school there, though. So here we go. So
Yeah.
we're moving on up a little bit up the coast.
so now we've got the Hyatt Centric, the Pike Long Beach. It's just like that Hyatt Regency, one of the few left in the area, especially on the ocean. So
You can
you've
see
got the
both of them
Hyatt-
here. They're actually very
Yeah.
close to each other.
So this one, the Hyatt Regency, the breakfast hasn't returned since the pandemic. It's still like a small cafe thing. The pool and jacuzzi is pretty decent. It's within walking distance of the beach. There's a nice little Pike area, which has like different outlet stores as well as a number of different restaurants. So all in all, it's a great property in my opinion.
You're saying that the restaurant is not open?
So it's like just a Starbucks kind of cafe thing. It's
You
not
got to
like a
be
sit-down
kidding me.
place.
Wow,
Yeah.
these guys are that's pretty scummy.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so
there's no
here we
club
go.
either.
And Jamie has got the Pike. Jamie's got a review on the channel. Just search for that, and you should be able to find it. And we're moving a little bit further up the coast.
Now we've got the Hotel Figueroa, which is in downtown LA. It used to be a Category 5, so it might be reflected as that on the Hyatt website. But starting March 25th, I want to say, it'll be a Category 4, so you can use your certificates there.
Yeah, they got a good restaurant there, an Italian one of the best Italian places in LA. It's called Sparrow. Just make sure that you make reservations there, and also for on the weekends, it's pretty popular. The main restaurant where you get breakfast, very decent globalist breakfast there. Make sure you also make a reservation. We went down there. Where Rudy and myself and Jamie were there, and a couple of other of our guys were there for a convention. We came down Saturday morning and wanted to before the convention started. We were there like 8:30 in the morning, and we couldn't get in. They were like, "Sorry, it's full."
Wow.
So good, important to when it's busy to make reservation. That's a tip for that. All right, we move up the coast, further up the coast.
Yeah, so now we've got the Hyatt Centric Fisherman's Wharf. This is the only Category 1 to 4 in the San Francisco city limits. And this is probably, according to Tommy, this is not a great property, but breakfast is decent. That's what you said to me earlier. But the location's good, being near Fisherman's Wharf, and you can take the bus, I want to say, to one of the 4 BART stations and that onto SFO. So
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. I think the breakfast was pretty good, as I told you. They also offered free parking when you redeem down the basement there, so that's good if you're a globalist. They got a valet thing down in the basement of the hotel where they valet your car for you, so that's cool. It was just very dirty. It wasn't very clean. It definitely did not look like this. I saw a courtyard and a wall, and I would say that this is the Hotel World's version of fake news, what we're looking at right here. All right, moving on, further up the coast.
Yeah, this is the Hyatt Regency Seattle. This is particularly good during peak summer season when there's a lot of cruises leaving out of Seattle. There's the Hyatt at Olive 8, Grand Hyatt Seattle, and I believe one other property, the Hyatt Place. The Hyatt Place is a Category 4, but the Olive 8 and Grand Hyatt are Category 5s, making this a great value. And also, too, the Hyatt Regency in Vancouver, which is a little bit up the coast, is also going to become a 5, making this an even better deal.
So do they have at this hotel, is the lounge still there?
I'm not sure about
The
that.
club lounge? It used to be
look.
pretty good, I've heard. All right. It's to be undetermined. There definitely used to be one. All right, we're moving to Utah.
And for this, we've got the Hyatt Place in Park City, which you might be thinking to yourself, why Park City and why Hyatt Place? Well, Park City is a really great ski town. This is in a phenomenal location. There is a resort fee, but if you're redeeming with points, that's going to be waived, and it's remained a Category 4, so obviously that's huge and winter
Right.
or summer for that matter. So
Yeah, I think it has to do with the location, and it's also the first Hyatt place on the list.
yeah, it is. It is indeed.
All right, we're moving to in the middle of the woods. Where the hell is this place?
It's in Tamaya, New Mexico, which is located near Sandia, New Mexico, which has got a cool little tramway that you can take up to the mountains. Located halfway between Albuquerque and Santa Fe. And all in all, it's a great location. There's a good spa facility. So all in all, I would recommend this property.
Can you rent a horse too?
I think you can.
There you go. And another Hyatt place. Wow, you got another Hyatt place there.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the West Coast, it's a lot of Hyatt places, but we've got the Hyatt Place in Flagstaff. This is currently a Category 2, so book that before it goes up. But even as a Category 3 during high season, which is around the summertime, as a lot of Phoenicians want to escape the heat and go somewhere cooler, which Flagstaff does exactly that. So hence the
Cool.
price.
Good times. All right, we are in Arizona.
Yeah, shameless plug for the FTU YouTube channel. I just made a review about this Tempe Mission Palms and stayed there about a month ago. It was an excellent stay. Breakfast was phenomenal. They even had fresh berries, which I don't think I've ever seen at a U.S. Hyatt free breakfast before, Hyatt Globalist breakfast. Rooms are really decent. Location's great with a lot of restaurants in the vicinity. So,
You get a junior suite?
No, because the junior suites don't have two queen beds. So,
Oh, okay.
But I did have a pool cabana thing, so that was pretty awesome.
Pool cabana. Cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Was that comped?
So your room like faces the pool, so it's like instead of a
Got it.
balcony, a
Okay, got it.
cabana.
You walk outside and you hop in the pool. Cool. I like the rooms like that. And we are in New Orleans.
Yeah, the Big Easy, I guess one might say. Yeah, this is the Hyatt Centric French Quarter, Category 4. Great location, great value during probably Super Bowl this year, as well as the what is the why am I forgetting the name? The big festival thing, Mardi Gras.
Yeah, cool. And it's very central location. I walk by it. It's close to the Ritz-Carlton where I usually stay when I'm there.
Nice.
Okay, we are in South Beach.
Yeah, in Miami. So this is from what I've heard. I've heard mixed things. I think it's not that bad, but it's currently a Category 5, but it's going to be going down to a Category 4 for starting March 25th. These rooms are a bit odd and are in need of a renovation, but if you need a place to sleep in South Beach and want to use one of your Category 1 to 4 certificates, this is a place. So.
All right. And we are now at Grand Cypress.
Yeah.
Where's
so
that? Orlando?
Orlando. It's a great family resort. As you can see in that photo, they have like 2 or 3 pools. They have shuttle service to Walt Disney World, the golf course on property. There's a number of different activities, so fire pit, arcade, etc. I believe they're pretty generous with upgrades, and the Hyatt Regency Orlando is as well. So.
Right. Got it. All right. Moving on to the East Coast, the muggy South.
So I was actually just in the area this past November, and I really enjoy Savannah. It's near where a lot of relatives live, and this hotel in particular is in an amazing location, like right in the heart of the city. The Thompson, which is located a bit east of the Andaz, is going down from a 5 to a 4, but I think the Andaz is just as good. So
Got it. So you got a couple of options. All right.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
the
we're
Thompson.
moving to Washington, D.C., which is where this is the host hotel for our Loyalty Summit a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so this is the Thompson, D.C., located in the Navy Pier area of town. Jamie Larunas, he's from the area and can probably give some good local recommendations for hotels and whatnot as well. There is a Hyatt Place near the White House, but I think since this is a Thompson, it's probably a lot better.
Yeah, I've stayed here multiple times. Actually, this is where I usually stay the most when I'm in D.C. these days. Great breakfast in the restaurant. They got a big, nice place where a bopping place on the top floor also in the evenings. Very generous with upgrades. I have not ever been in a standard room. Well, wait a minute. Once I've been in a standard room at this place. So, but out of 6-7 stays, I can completely recommend this place for sure.
And I think also with that hotel, they have a really good FHR deal where it was like $180 and you could get like $100 in food, property credit, all that stuff. So
yeah. All right. Here we are with
Jersey City.
You get to look at where you should see those guys. They were standing there. You get to look at where you should have stayed, right?
Yeah. And you can't afford it because you're broke with your Category 1 to 4 certificate.
There you go.
So
yeah, it's not that inconvenient though. The subway, it's the last. You take the subway across the river. It's super good. It's like one stop from Manhattan.
Yeah. So this is a Category 4. Yeah. You get the idea. All right, next up we have the Hyatt Regency Chicago. This is the largest hotel in Chicago, I believe. And there's also the Hyatt Centric Magnificent Mile. This is also a category 4. It's kind of just up to you on which is better. The Hyatt Regency does have a club and it's going to probably give you better suite options if you want a globalist upgrade. So,
Right. All right. Moving on to where is this? Joy de
in
Vere?
Toronto, Canada. So, this is a JDV, great for Brand Explorer if you're looking for that brand, and it's located in the heart of Toronto. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Good times. All right. We are over to, yes, you were in Montreal.
Oui. So this is the Hyatt Centric in Montreal. This is in the heart of the city. It is a category 3. So not a bad deal, especially during summertime.
Cool. Nice view.
Yeah.
All right. We are in Massachusetts.
Yeah. So we're in Boston, and it's not in Boston, like downtown. It's located like
By the airport?
Yeah, right by the airport. You can take a ferry over to the city, but the other Boston properties are all category 5, so I think that's a good deal, especially during peak season.
Nobody goes to Boston anymore. It's too crowded. All right. We are now taking a big leap down to South America.
Yeah, so we're at the Park Hyatt Mendoza, which is one of the few category 4 Park Hyatts left. And this is something probably Tommy has more expertise in when it comes to alcohol stuff. But
I have not been to Mendoza.
But it's good for wine, right?
Sure. If that's kind of if you like cheap wine, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So
all right. We are in Mexico City.
In the Ondas in Condesa, which is kind of an Americanized neighborhood, or a lot of expats living there. This hotel opened, I want to say, about 2 years ago. It's a category 4, got a rooftop pool with great views.
Looks very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. This closer will take place from December 20th through January 13th. They're back open, but they haven't updated their website yet.
Yeah.
Cool. But they don't have a club lounge like they do in Hong Kong at the Ondas, right? Or was that Dave Centric?
That was Hyatt Centric, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. But speaking of the Hyatt Centric, this hotel I've heard a little bit about.
Yeah, so this used to be the Grand Hyatt, and this is, I believe, being remodeled as we speak. This has got, it's located right on the beach. It's a category 4, so not a bad deal.
Right. Isn't this, so they're remodeling the Grand Hyatt? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think.
All right, yeah, and also, I mean,
Thompson.
Playa del Carmen is just a much better alternative. Cancun is such a terrible place to go.
It's a Thompson, actually. That's what I was thinking of. It used to be the Thompson.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the Grand Hyatt is still there, right?
Yes.
All right, there we go. So it used to be a Thompson, and now it's a Centric. And so it wasn't luxurious enough to be a Thompson. Is that what we're talking about? Panama City, we talked about that already. We will move over to Cartagena.
So this is located right on the beach. I've heard things about Cartagena where the beaches are kind of like they might ask you for money, try to pitch you on stuff. Keep that in mind. But this is a very tall high-rise with a club, great views as you can see here. And as a category 3, it's not a bad deal at all.
Beautiful. All right, moving on to the Grand Hyatt in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, so this is in Rio, Brazil. This is not in Copacabana beach area. It's kind of off on its own. Yeah, they do charge a resort fee, which is surprising for a foreign hotel. But if you're paying with points, you don't have to pay that. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to
Tagajout.
Tagajout. Where's that?
Yeah, in Morocco, actually. So
there's
in
Morocco. Okay, so this is one of the places on the beach on the coast.
Correct.
Wait a minute. I think I've actually been in that area. Let me look at a map and see if it's where I think it is. Agadir, yeah, 9 miles from Agadir. So it's south in the tourist areas in the south. All right, Cape Town we already talked about. And then you are at the Anchorage Hyatt Place.
Yeah, so the last 3 are all Hyatt Places. These are for various reasons. So the Hyatt Place in Anchorage, this is great during peak summertime when room rates are in the $300 to $400 range. Anchorage just becomes insanely expensive during the summertime for hotels, rental cars, flights, etc. And this hotel represents a great value as a category 4. So.
Right. Yeah, it becomes Anchorage. I was there last year on a cruise, and this is the place I should have stayed at. I stayed at the Courtyard. Fun fact about this place, it is midtown, so it's a little bit away from the airport. but not really that far from the airport. But they do actually offer a free shuttle, even if it doesn't look like it does. I looked at the map and I was like, this is too far away from the airport to be offering a shuttle. So, but they actually do have one. So we got there and we stayed at the Courtyard, which is the closest hotel to the airport. And this is obviously must be a much better alternative for sure.
Yeah. And then
All right, we are in Waikiki.
This hotel's really sporadic with availability. I think they play games at times, but as a category 4, it's the only one in Hawaii, so not a bad deal if you can get it.
All right, and the grand finale, we're going to Florida. Of course, we
Hyatt
are.
Place.
Yeah, Hyatt Place in St. Augustine, Villano Beach.
And this is the first city in the U.S. that was ever founded. Fun fact. And this hotel is located right on the beach, hence the name. Really new build, opened about a year or two ago. So if you're looking for a way to use your cert in St. Augustine area, this is your place.
There you have it. That is a good walkthrough of 60 hotels in 50 minutes. That is not bad. That is pretty. You were speedy there towards the end there, John, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hope you also appreciated watching. If you are followed us this far, I salute you and I thank you for that. I hope it was helpful for you to get some inspiration of how to use your category 1 through 4 certs. And guess what? If you don't have them, you can use your Hyatt points and it is just as good of a value as well.
Hope to see you at the FTU in May.
Yeah, let's first week of May in Dallas, Texas. We're going to be the first weekend of May at the Hyatt Regency by the airport, which is a place where you can also use your category 1 through 4 because it is category 2. Yeah. Thanks for dialing in, folks. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right, I gotta go.
All right. Do we need to do anything with the email blast stuff? Like, is that happening?
No, Melinda's got that.
Okay.
Cool.
Bye.
Giddy up. Now we have the rate, so now we can send it out. Did everything get resolved with the with those videos? I saw Jamie went into some of them today.
I thought